Hello everyone, here is a question based on atomic structure. Which ion has both more electrons than protons and more protons than neutrons? Let us first calculate the number of electrons, protons and neutrons in each species, then we will decide which one is correct. In H plus, the number of electrons will be 0. We will have only one proton. Hydrogen atom has no neutrons and therefore the number of neutrons will be 0. The one that we write here is the sum of number of protons plus neutrons and therefore the neutrons should be 0. In deuterium minus we will have 2 electrons. If it is simply deuterium, then the number of electrons will be 1, but it is given as D minus, therefore the number of electrons will be 2. And how about the protons? Protons will be 1 and this will have 1 neutron, that's why we got 2 here. And then in H3O plus, in H3 we will have 3 protons, and then in oxygen we need to consider this particular isotope that has 8 protons and therefore 3 plus 8 we will have 11 protons. How about electrons? We will have 8 electrons in oxygen and 3 electrons in 3 hydrogen atoms, so 8 plus 3, but we have a positive charge and therefore the number of electrons here will be 10. How about neutrons? Neutrons, it will be simply 8. The neutrons comes only from the oxygen atom and therefore it should be simply 8. And then OD minus. In oxygen atom we will have 8 electrons and then in D minus we will have 2 electrons. Therefore this is 10. The number of protons in oxygen atom we will have 8. In deuterium we will have 1 proton. Therefore 8 plus 1, 9 here. And the number of neutrons in oxygen atom 8 and then in deuterium 1, it would be 8 plus 1, 9 once again. OH minus. Oxygen atom will have 8 electrons. Hydrogen 1 electron, 8 plus 1, 9, but we have a negative charge and therefore the number of electrons will be 10 here. And then number of protons 8 plus 1 here, 9, and then the number of neutrons, it should be counted only from the oxygen atom and therefore 8. Now here the question is, which ion has both more electrons than protons? More electrons than protons, that means this is not correct. Also more electrons than protons, therefore this is option C is also not correct. Now look at the second statement, more protons than neutrons. We have equal number of protons and neutrons in D minus, therefore this is not correct. In OD minus we have equal number of protons and neutrons and therefore this is also not correct. OH minus is the correct answer. Here we have more electrons than protons and more protons than neutrons. Therefore option E is the correct choice here.